There could be hints of optimism coming out of the war in Ukraine tonight. At peace talks in Istanbul, Russia announced it will drastically reduce military operations near some cities in the west, including around the capital city of Kyiv. Now, there are questions about whether this is real progress or perhaps a trap. Russia only agreed to scale back in areas where it was suffering heavy losses. Forces are still indiscriminately bombing civilian targets in the east and have their eyes set on some key cities like Odessa. That's a port town that's Ukraine's gateway to the Black Sea, where their navy is located, and it's home to some significant cultural heritage sites. While some are training to defend the city, others are running volunteer hubs.
I'm Jewish, so this is second time genocide in my family life. The first time they tried to kill us because we were Jewish. Now they want to kill us because we are Ukrainian, but we are strong. That's our home.
White House officials say they're actively monitoring the situation across the country. And right now, a lot of people online are calling for a boycott of Russian-made items, including diamonds. It's one of the country's largest exports. Brandon Lewis verifies how to tell a diamond's country of origin.
Russia mines nearly a third of the world's diamonds, according to U.S. Treasury estimates, and 90% of the country's mines are controlled by Russian company Alrosa. After Russia invaded Ukraine last month, Alrosa and its CEO Sergei Ivanov were hit with U.S. sanctions. Now, there are headlines claiming the sanctions aren't doing much to stop Russian diamonds from appearing in U.S. jewelry stores. And if you're trying to avoid Russian goods, it may be a challenge. So let's verify. Can you always tell if a diamond was mined in Russia? Our sources are the U.S. Treasury Department, the U.S. Department of Commerce, and Martin Rappaport, chairman of online diamond trading network, the Rappaport Group. On March 11th, President Joe Biden issued a ban on diamonds originating from Russia, but Rappaport calls it ineffective because it excludes diamonds that are sourced from Russia and are then cut elsewhere. Russia mostly produces rough stones that need to be cut and polished, and that's often done in other countries. So a stone mined in Russia could be sold to a company in another country, like China or India, who aren't on a U.S. sanctions list. Those finished stones can then be sold to the U.S. because they are made in China or India. The U.S. Department of Commerce explains this is perfectly legal because the diamonds underwent a substantial transformation, or, quote, a fundamental change in form, appearance, nature, or character, which adds to its value, unquote. So, no, you can't always tell if a diamond was mined in Russia. Rappaport is encouraging companies who sell through his exchange to include a diamond source, but it's not always required. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
And if there's something you'd like us to verify, we are just an email away. Verify@12newsnow.com. We're always checking our inbox. And of course, you can DM us on social media.